What's up guys, today I'm going to be talking about Battlefield 2042 and the current issues that I have with the game or just in general with Season 2. The last time I done one of these videos was when I think patch 1.1 released, but I'm not entirely sure. But these issues, I think they sort of apply to everyone and they're not sort of like single shot solutions to fix the game, or I don't know if they can be fixed. Some of them can, some of them can't, and the first one I'm going to talk about is how your teammates play the game. So the issues that I've got, right, mainly are to do with team play, teamwork, people playing the objectives and stuff, and it happens in both Breakthrough and Conquest, and as we only really have 2 game modes for the main maps, I feel like this probably doesn't help at all. And yeah, so with Conquest, people just don't think, and I know like one of my recent videos about when I was using the M5A3, and I've had someone comment saying, because I made a comment in a video saying, why can't people play the way I do? And he said about that, and it's just simply people thinking. You haven't got to be great at a game. Like my KD's 1.6, I think, roughly around that mark. And I'm not amazing at the game or anything. I'm fairly good. I'm fairly decent at first-person shooters, and I've transitioned from controller to mouse through Battlefield 2042 about 4 or 5 months ago, because I've stopped playing Call of Duty. I was using a controller for about 12 years. And yeah, people just not thinking about where they're capturing, where people could be spawning, where they could be flanking, just nobody thinking. And I do get a lot of deaths purely because of that. You know, I'll have like, even it can even be one player. Mostly it's normally 2 or 3 players, but you know, they just sort of bum rush around the back and then you're dead, and then you lose 10 teammates. Nobody's medding because nobody plays the support characters properly, or the general sort of class systems that we got. Nobody really uses them. Hopefully an update is coming soon that'll address that, but I don't think it will. But yeah, Breakthrough, people will sit at the back of the map when you are attacking and snipe. Now, occasionally you do get people that are good, right? They are good and they do the job, they kill enemies, and that is sort of, they are helping, even though they're on the back lines, they are sort of generally helping and killing enemies, and it's helping your team sort of progress on the point, but 9 times out of 10 they're not. And that is not what you're supposed to do in Breakthrough, especially when you're not good. If you want to practice, you want to get attachments, all that good stuff, go on Conquest. I get flanked by people sniping on Conquest all the time. Just do that, not Breakthrough. And I've had quite a few people comment on my videos as well whenever I've been playing with squad mates that don't seem to do anything. And I do have the tendency to moan a lot. I do actually cut quite a bit of it out, but I do plan on making a video where I just play, and you know, you hear me rage quite a bit because it's quite a common occurrence, and I think it's pretty normal. It's a normal thing to see, especially someone like FaZe Jeff who does it all the time on COD. I don't really see anyone doing it in the Battlefield community. Most people just post highlights, and there are a few people that do just post genuine gameplays, but it's quite rare. And I think I've had quite a few comments of people actually just respecting the fact that I do that. And for the people that do make them comments and people that do stick through all the videos, especially like when it's like a gun sort of class up, you know, oh, this is what's best to use. People do surprisingly watch through all, and the people that do that, thank you very much, because I do massively appreciate it. This channel's grown quite a bit, to be honest. I only started doing this over 2 months ago now because I'm in a group chat with my mates. I post sort of screenshots of like, oh, here's these patch notes, here's this update, and I absolutely flood the group chat with it, and I thought, why not just make videos on it? And it's doing quite well, so there's just a massive thank you to all the people that genuinely do support the channel, because I do recognise you and I do notice all the comments, and I'm getting quite close to being monetized already. I'm about 20-25% of the way there, so yeah, just a huge thank you to them. And the support really does go a long way. It's helped me reach engagement. I'm getting a lot more likes and a lot more views on average, so yeah, just again, a massive thank you to all the people that do support what I do. Because trying to balance everything out with working my regular day job as a fabricator and structural engineer, then going to the gym, meal prepping, cooking meals in the evening, like I genuinely get about an hour or 2 to myself to do this every night. So yeah, just a huge shout out to all them people with the support. So now I'm going to stop waffling and just carry on with the video. So I do want to make a video of me just raging. Hopefully enjoy that, but that'll be soon. And I did have a rare game about a week or 2 ago where it was literally me and one other guy, just us 2 in a squad, and we were playing Conquest, and I can't remember what map it was on. I think it was Breakaway. And yeah, we were just slapping up. He was first and I was second. I think we got we got the exact same amount of score. We were top 2 on our leaderboard, and I think he got more kills because he was just flying around in a helicopter using a 30mm cannon before it was sort of nerfed. But that is sort of, I think, one of the biggest issues with the game is the way teams play together, and especially 9 times out of 10 when I play Battlefield, I do find it sometimes hard to get good content because my team's getting slapped and the enemy team always seems to be doing well or doing better. I don't know if it's because skill-based matchmaking. Maybe skill-based matchmaking isn't as strong. Like I said, I'm not a brilliant player. I think I'm fairly average at the game, but I don't know, I just seem to get bad luck with players, and that's probably like my biggest sort of frustration with the game. So I kind of suppose that the second topic I want to talk about does sort of piggyback off of what I've just spoken about, and that is sort of like the lack of game modes in this game. There just isn't enough. like, especially when we get like a new map like this come out, and thankfully this map's pretty decent. I think it's pretty one-sided at times, but it's a decent map, loads of close quarter stuff. And if you want to get away from that, you can go on the outskirts of the map, fight the flags. It's pretty decent. And this game plays the TDM mode, I think it was, for Friday Night Battlefield. I think that's where it was anyway. We have a lack of game modes. We literally just have Conquest and Breakthrough. And when they seem to bring out these 24/7 playlists like we had of Stranded, they just removed Exodus Conquest, and I don't understand why. It should just be a permanent fixture. And I know the playlist, they try to rotate them and switch everything up, but it's just pointless. I think just keep them all on there. Even though the player base isn't massive on this game, it is a hell of a lot more sturdy now than it was, let's say, maybe May, June time, when it was sort of at its lows. I think they're averaging like around 2,000 players or something, and now it's sort of tripled. But Exodus Conquest for me was just amazing. The older maps they work perfectly, like the Bad Company 2 maps especially. I grew up on Bad Company 1 and then absolutely played the hell out of Bad Company 2. And then the same with Battlefield 3, sort of what you play when you're in your teens. That's what everyone was doing, Call of Duty and Battlefield, back when Battlefield felt a bit more like COD. And I feel like they need to have these permanent fixtures of playlists for these sort of maps, especially Exodus Conquest. I think that needs to be on there all the time. They should always have Rush as well, because at the moment we've got Rush, and I don't know, it is a bit iffy. When I say Rush, I mean like maybe Rush on like the previous like Portal maps, because they did do that for a time, and I thought that was great. I don't think Rush works particularly well on the new maps, but that's just personally me. Sometimes you have some good games, but 9 times out of 10 they just don't really work well, because I don't know, it might just be the map design, the way you're pushing through the map. I don't like it at all. So this other thing that I've sort of got on my mind could again be piggybacked off of what I said in the first clip, but I just feel like the skill-based matchmaking, the way that they balance teams is just completely off in this game. I had people that are active commenters on my YouTube channel, and they've already said, like, when Season 2 come out and they're playing on the first day, you're all excited to play the game. And I know one guy, I think he said like 5 or 6 games in a row where he is just getting slapped every single time because his team, not just him, but his team just can't sort of hold up a battle. And trust me, like on Battlefield, it's one of the worst feelings when your team's just letting you down, because it completely ruins the game, completely ruins how you play, it ruins where you spawn, it ruins where you're going to get flanked, where you try to flank. Everything sort of comes down to that, and I feel like the skill-based matchmaking probably isn't as strong because of a low player base, but it's still, they need to do something about it. Now this, I don't think anyone is a stranger to, and that is the Battle Pass. I feel like the Battle Pass is massively overwhelming. I'm sort of glad I'm not paying for it every single time they come up for a season. I mean, I suppose I am, because I bought the Ultimate Edition for £99.99 back before the game was even in beta, and I feel like the Battle Pass is just always underwhelming. Obviously we get like the free guns in it, the stuff that everyone gets, the specialist, it's just boring. There isn't really anything that's worth it in the Battle Pass. I mean, occasionally you do get this sort of odd rare gem in it, but most of the time it's just crap, and I don't understand. Like I went through like 80 summit tiers I think in Season 1, and I got nothing to show for it at all, apart from like the BSVM, and we got weapons and stuff, but that was it. There was literally nothing else that's even worth mentioning, and it was just all useless pretty much. And I feel like the exact same thing with Season 2. Obviously you get a few sort of cool camos and stuff for your guns and character outfits, but they're still super underwhelming. And even on that topic, I feel like there isn't enough good camos in the game. Whenever they bring out these packs that you can buy, that's a lie, I've actually bought one, and that was for the Scar H. None of these packs are ever worth the money. They just look like standard camos. For camos and weapon sort of customization in this game is just terrible. This MA3 camo that I'm using here is the Obsidian, which I've had quite a few people ask about, and that's what you get for purchasing the Ultimate Edition. It's a pretty good, it sort of changed the look of the gun. It's got a nice sort of blue chrome on it, and there is a red one, I think it's around about tier 80 odd in Season 2, which is quite nice. But apart from that, like, it's just, the guns are all lacking sort of unique customization in the game, especially the packs. When you're paying for something, you want it to look unique, and genuinely, someone could kill me with, I don't know, any gun from any of the packs that have been out, and I wouldn't be able to tell if it's from a pack. Maybe like the odd one or two, but I feel like they're massively lacking in that department. The next thing is the sort of character roles, or specialist roles, I suppose you could call it, as they're just the normal classes that we had in previous Battlefield games, and we know that that's coming because they announced it with update patch 2.0, that they are working on it, and hopefully, I'm just begging that they do it correctly, which I'm going to assume that they won't, and it is going to be a bit of a flop. Like Falk, who I play as mainly, she's a support character, or medic, and I just pray to God that the medic classes, support, whatever you want to call them, that they don't specialize in stuff like LMGs, because that's what I sort of took the hint from. Like assault classes, obviously assault rifles, engineers, if that's what they're going to call it, they obviously benefit from SMGs. I hope that they don't have these sort of massive taboo sort of weapon buffs along with the classes, or like obviously we've had in previous Battlefield games where they can only use select weapons. I just really hope they don't do that, but at the same time I don't know how they're going to bring in these specialist classes and sort of make them fair. I think the game's too far down the road now, unless they're just trying to put them into their own sort of categories, and maybe, I don't know, medics just have further healing attributes, but they've already got that anyway, so it's like I don't really see what they're going to bring, but I hope when they bring it, they do it right and they think about it properly, because if not, it could literally ruin the entire game, especially for people that have been sort of hardcore fans and they're sort of looking forward to coming back to the old ways. So if they do have that and it turns out, oh, I'm going to benefit from using LMG more, when I mainly use stuff like the M5A3, then I'm just going to have to switch up my class. I love playing this Falcon because the self-revive is just ridiculously overpowered, in my personal opinion, and medding up teammates, I think it's super important, and I want to keep playing that way. But if these attributes come in and they're not correct and they don't suit, then it's just going to be a massive flop.